Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Well, Catherine and Kathy, hello. We had a little hiccup this morning, this afternoon, but we're here. That's what counts. Good morning to you, Chris. I know it's morning in California. Doris, good afternoon. Ellen, Autumn is in the house. Gosh, it's good to have all of you here. Jocelyn, nice to have you here. Evelyn, Alice, look at y'all. Just storming the gates. Anyway, it's good. There's our girl Marguerite. Andrea in the house. Deborah, golly, look at you all. What is it? It's Tuesday. So Tuesday must be let's stir the pot day. Let's get some stuff done. Listen, today's show is really, you're going to love because it's all about automating our habits, right? Because there's some things that need to be automated and some things that we can't automate because we need to be in it 100%. But when we can automate some stuff, man, oh man, does life get easier. You know, we learn how to do that with, Fly Lady and routines and what have you. But we can also do it with our good, healthy habits. What do you think? I like that idea. Glenn, I'm so glad to see you. So, you know what? We have a really good quote of the week. I didn't write it down because it'll go backwards and everything everywhere else. But it's this: go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And boy, oh boy, is that ever such a good piece of advice for life, right? When we start to do that, we stop performing for people and we start living our lives. We start living our lives to the fullest. And you know what that screams, don't you? The V word, vibrancy. That's what it's all about. I love that. I think it's one of the most beautiful things. Go where you're celebrated. And I'm telling you, every single one of you here, I celebrate you all and appreciate every single one of you. And thank you again for showing up and being a part of this broadcast on a daily basis. Today is Tuesday, so you know that means Transformational Tip Tuesday. We're going to go deep and we're going to get into some stuff. I'm excited. Are you? I hope so. Hello, Tanya. Good to see you. Yay, you're in the house. All right, so here's the other thing that I want to point your attention to is if you go to savingdinner.com/announcements, you can see every single thing that's happening here on Saving Dinner, okay? All the things. So I want you to be really, really cognizant of that, including this. This is your Take Back Your Life journal. Now, hear me on this journal, y'all. We have limited amounts. We have limited it so that you can only get 2. And we've done this on purpose because, oh my gosh, did I write those dates down? I've got them somewhere. I know Jenny does probably. Oh, Leanne, here they are. I got the dates. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. This is imperative. We are going to have, first of all, I'm going to do on Tuesday, August 30th, I'm doing a goals workshop. In that goals workshop, I'm going to teach you how to make goals that you will actually follow through with and do. Because does anybody here say, I'm going to make goals or make New Year's resolutions, and it's just, you know what it is, right? It's a mess. Doesn't happen. You're on it maybe for a week, 10 days max. Drop it like it's hot. There's a reason why. And that's what we tackle in the Take Back Your Life journal. So at the masterclass, I'm going to teach you about goals and what they need to be and what they need to not be. And you'll have an opportunity to get the Take Back Your Life journal. Okay, that's it. Now, the Take Back Your Life journal owners on Monday, September 12th, that's going to be our masterclass. It's going to be right after Labor Day, right? So it's Monday, 7 p.m., September 12th. Write that down. And the masterclass, of course, it will be recorded, is going to go through, and I am going to take you through my journal. My journal. I'm going to show you how to write these things. I'm going to give you lots and lots of detail. It's going to be really good. And I promise you, I'll stay for every single solitary question. It is a masterclass. It'll probably run 2 hours. They usually do. And then lastly, we will have, we are going to be offering the Rising Tide for those who want to go deep and get it done. That's when you get a one-on-one with me, and I will take, and when I say one-on-one, it's not a one-on-one, let's sit down and talk about this. It is, you have the opportunity to email me your goals, and I will help you with writing them all out in the way that's formulated by these if you get stuck. I don't want you stuck. And then you get to be with other women who are also on the same page. And I will tell you, that is one of my favorite classes. We're over the moon with this. This is our big deal happening in September. So, big piece of advice, and I'm sorry I'm going long on this, but I'm really very passionate about this because this changed my life. And it's changed a bunch of other ladies' lives. Ask Nancy about it. I mean, it's everything. So, go get your journal right now. It's at savingdinner.com/journal. I'm telling you this because we're flying out the door. We've got 6, 7, 8, 10 a day going out the door. They are going to be gone before you know it. Get that taken care of. Okay? All right. So I've given you the scoop of everything. And remember, if you missed anything, savingdinner.com/announcements. Let's get to the show. And this is one, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and bring TikTok on for our TikTok Live. Hello, TikTok. Welcome. And YouTube and Facebook. I'm so glad you're here. Now, I'm going to mention this because we're going to be talking about automating habits. This is the crux of how you go from here to there quickly. Because aren't we also impatient? We don't want this whole thing of just having it be forever and ever on men. We want to get down to business, right? We don't want to keep dragging things out or keep going back and back and back and starting over. So this is a show worthy of notes. Otherwise, go to savingdinner.com and sign up for our newsletter. We will give you the notes tomorrow morning. Okay? Today's notes tomorrow morning. We do that with all the shows. You ready? Let's get busy. All right. First things first. We go places when we automate because we don't have to think. That's the whole idea of automation. Automation's pretty darn cool. However, it doesn't work you can't automate meditation, but you can automate the idea of, I'm going to sit down and meditate at this X amount of, X time every day. You can automate certain things that you're going to do, but there are certain things that just can't be automated. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about getting into the habit of automation. Now, cash registers. I know you're going, cash registers? Why are you talking about cash registers? They automated ethical behavior. Back in the 1800s, there was no such thing as a cash register. They had a cash drawer. And what was happening, this one guy, John Henry Patterson, he had this big lumber company and mercantile type of a deal. He was losing so much money and he couldn't understand what was going on every single year. He got into this whole idea of making sure that the cash register, the only way that the cash could get taken out of the cash drawer was there had to be some buttons that needed to be pushed. You can figure out what this is all about. So if somebody came in and bought $10 worth of lumber, then in order to exchange the cash, right? I know, Pinky, it's really hard. Is this better? Is this better? Hey, I think I did something. Pinky, tell me, is that better? Is this better, y'all? I moved the TikTok phone. I hope that's better. Okay. So the cash register then automated ethical behavior because money couldn't be taken out without having to ring something up. Got it? That's the whole thing. So what this did was John Henry Patterson's business got changed. overnight practically. And he went from making nothing or going into the negative to making $5,000 that year. In 1844, that was a heck of a lot of money, right? So I love that. Um, and so you can see that things can be automated if there are strategies, objects, etc., in place to make those things happen. The best way to break a bad habit, by the way, is to make it impossible to break. So just like this cash register, these guys could no longer steal. It was impossible to steal because the money was locked up. It had to be rung up. So the best way to create a good habit is to automate it so you don't have to think. I love that so much. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I almost have to take my head up. There's so much going on inside. And so to not have to think about something just makes my life that much easier. And that's what Tanya said. She says, my weekday mornings are automated. She's still working on the weekends. We can't totally 100% automate our entire lives, but we can automate certain aspects of it. And it just makes it simpler to get it done and to not muff it up. So James Clear, I love that book. He has Atomic Habits. If you haven't read Atomic Habits, run to Amazon and order it. I'm serious. Order the book, put sticky notes, pencil in it, highlighters in it, and read that book. Lots of brain science behind everything, but it's a beautifully written book. You can even listen to it if you want to, but it really, really does help you. So here's some ideas that he had for automating better behavior to have that create a new habit, right? First of all, nutrition. Start thinking in terms of a smaller plate. And I would add, start thinking in terms of you want half that plate green, you want half that plate with protein, you want a quarter of that plate with protein, and you want a little bit of fat and maybe some high starchy carbs like sweet potatoes or even some rice or something like that if you're very active. Those are the things that we can think of, just like eyeballing what would that look like, and here's a smaller plate. So that works out. For sleep, if you can't get your sleep dialed in, do you have a TV playing in your bedroom? Maybe take the TV out, maybe take the home office out, and start having a bedroom be a sanctuary. There are multitudes of studies to support all of this. And that is the main thing all the way around the block. In order to have a sleep sanctuary, you got to make it a sleep sanctuary. Productivity. I did this except for one thing. I took email off my phone. So I wouldn't sit there and do email on my phone. That was a scary thing to do because I think, well, what if I need it? What if I, you know what I mean? But productivity you can be extraordinarily productive if you have a certain place that you do your productivity. Instead of thinking I'll be much more productive if I can multitask and you have all the social media on your phone and all of that, is that really helpful? Well, if you take it off, what you will find is that you have more room and more productivity, and you're less apt to hang around and just like, oh, look at that cute little dog video, And I'm telling you, I still will post dog videos for you to enjoy. Lincoln is pretty entertaining. You want happiness? This is the truth. Again, studies to support this. Go get a dog. Dogs are happiness makers. They're never down in the dumps. They're always happy. And when they see you, it's like they've never seen another human being before in their lives. We go out and play pickleball. We come home. That dog acts as if he hasn't seen us in a month. He is so excited to see us. And how do we greet him back? Oh my gosh, yes, there you are, blah, blah, blah. And there's the dopamine flowing. Health. Get better, supportive people around you. Can I just say, if you don't have a supportive community, you don't have anything. We need to have a supportive community. If you're trying to shift with your health and there are certain things that you're trying to do, whether it's lose weight, get your nutrition in order, get your fitness levels up, hydrate, you need a community behind you, because the studies have shown over and over and over again that when we have that community behind us, we are going to, not only are they going to support us, but we're going to offer support too. And we're going to feel a part of. That's all a part of the whole thing. I want you to think about that. Really meditate on that for a minute. What does it mean to be a part of the community? It means everything. And for your finances, I'll tell you something. You can call and ask for better rates. You can call and get things done. I mean, I will tell you how much we had our cable bill reduced. Simply Mark just called. That was it. We've done all kinds of things like this to get lower rates. People do it, and they do it because they don't want to lose you. So do that. Keep that up. We have people who do that with us, and by the way, if you want to get L-glutamine TikTok, less expensive, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter on savingdinner.com. How funny that works, right? So technology handles a lot of our tasks. Have you noticed that? It does. It handles a lot of our tasks. We have Amazon delivering everything. I'm telling you, if Amazon delivers it, I'm all over it. I'm all about Amazon delivering. I get groceries. I buy my produce from Misfits most of the time. Sometimes I've been using the farmers market and stuff because I want to, support my local people. And there's nothing like fresh corn from a local farm stand. Am I right? And tomatoes. There's certain things you want to get. Peaches. Yep. You can get healthcare via Zoom now. I mean, they do this it's called telemedicine. It's a thing. It really started big time up in the COVID years, but it's still going. It's still hot to trot. We have documents. Do you remember when I first bought a house? Do you remember sitting down with your mortgage guy and you've got this stack of documents like this? Remember that? It just stacks of stuff. And it was just insanity. But it's changed now. We've got DocuSign. And it just buzzes around and takes you all the way over. Boom, 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 it's done. You want to have a better obedient dog? I will tell you for a fact, we have an e-collar for our dog. And he has been trained and he will come when you call him, but sometimes he'll get delayed. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? But if you hit the little button and it goes beep, 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 he finds that annoying. And it just makes him think, come on back and we're good. And let's work through that. Cisco is asking about how to fight cravings and why does L-glutamine take away cravings? Are you familiar with this? I'm just sidebar. So L-glutamine loose in a dish like so. Put your finger in it, tongue, gums, boom. There goes a craving. L-glutamine is an amino acid and it blocks the pleasure center to the brain so that you don't have the recurring craving and you do it as often as you need it. That's how you fight cravings. It is awesome. You can find it at savingdinner.com/stop cravings. And I tell people about this all the time because if you want to get ahead of things, if you want to automate getting rid of a craving, that's how you do it. That's an automation thing. You have to keep on it though. You don't say, oh, worked one time and then think you're going to fight it out the next time. We don't need to harness our willpower as much as we need to harness our environment. Our environment is set up for success or it's set up for our downfall. You can't have a dish of L-glutamine and a big dish of candy sitting there at the same place and expect that L-glutamine is going to just do the trick. Let's get rid of that, right? This is the way we have to start thinking smart. We have to start thinking intentionally. And in order to do this, get your environment automated as much as you possibly can. So the downside to all this technology that's out there, right? The downside is that we binge watch television. Anybody? Oh, 2 hands up in the air for me. I binge watched Downton Abbey. It was shameful how much we watched Downton Abbey. You can, if you're watching YouTube and you're going, oh, I just need to learn how to do X, Y, and Z. Have you noticed that it sucks you in and it automates auto plays the next video and then the next one and then the next one? It sucks your life out. We have Uber delivery, we have pizza delivery. It makes eating junk easy, right? It's crazy. Technology works against us and feeds our impulsivity. And I'll tell you, I don't know about you, but my impulsiveness is the thing that has been my downfall. And every time we need to get rid of the impulsivity and we need to instead put in mindfulness. Mindfulness, it's the thing. So James Clear, this is what he does. He resets passwords on his social media to stop. He does. And then he has to go look it up so he just doesn't do it. Isn't that so smart? It keeps him out of, being sucked down the tube, because you can get sucked down the tube. But how often have we said, though, about, we've talked about everything, getting sucked down into your phone, getting sucked into YouTube, getting sucked into Netflix or whatever. And we've all done it. And that doesn't automate a habit. It automates a bad habit and keeps us away from the goals that we want. I don't care what you have written in here. If you allow the suck and you allow for this stuff, it's going to it'll suck your soul right out of you. It doesn't it? It's scary. So one of the things that prevents us from the magic and time-saving capacity of automation is what Benjamin Hardy calls overweighting. Okay, you ready for this? Benjamin Hardy is also, by the way, he's a PhD psychologist, fill in the blank. He's a productivity specialist, I will say. He's some of the best stuff I've read is his stuff. He says that we overweight because we feel it's not quite perfect, right? Not quite perfect. That's guilty. Anyone? Pinkies up if you're guilty. I know I am. It needs more research. I need to do more research on that. How about that one? I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Sometimes we just need to jump in. Or we'll say this. This is a very famous one, ladies. I'll start Monday. Who said that before? I'll start Monday. But the bottom line is over planning kills projects. Overkill, it does, because there's a magic moment when you make a decision. There we go. There comes the pinkies. Yep. Hey, Vanessa, Debbie. It's true. There is a magic moment when we make a decision and we've got to act on it to make it sink in. So to get to the place of automating, we need to do it exactly like Ray Bradbury said. You ready for this quote? It's a doozy. Jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down. That sounds really frightening. Your amygdala right now is screaming, I just know. But let's talk about that. I've got 10 things that you can do that will make all the difference in the world. Are you ready for them? Line them up. Here we go. Number 1 is be okay with it just being good enough and excellent. Be okay with that. We don't need to be perfectionists. We don't have to go all the way on every single thing. We do not. Number 2 is we need to know that mistakes happen. And when it happens, it doesn't mean it's over. It means go look for the lesson. Go scrape that lesson right out of that mistake. What happened here? When we can be analytical with ourselves, that is the biggest gift, one of the biggest gifts anyway, that we can give ourselves. Because then we can figure it out. We can have Edison moments where we'll figure out that's one way not to do it. What do I need to learn here? That's the gift you give yourself. Number 3, before you automate, labor over it. Is this how it needs to be? Not so that you can make it perfect, but so that you can automate it so it fits who you are. You might hear me say, well, this is what I do. And then you try doing what I do and you're going, this is just not working. This whole thing doesn't work. Well, what you need to do is tweak it to fit you, because it's not about me. It's about you, and it's about your tweaks and what it is that you need. Am I right? That's totally it. Number 3, Oh, no, I did that one. Number 4 is also to personalize it, right? Not everybody loves fish, I found out. I do. I love fish. So when I mentioned, hey, to some friends, hey, let's have some salmon, it was like, oh, maybe not. Oh, no, not so wild about fish. Okay, cool. We don't have to have salmon. We can have something else. Not everybody has your taste. Not everybody wants to do it the way that you do it. But you know what? You have full permission to do it the way it fits you. Remember that. When somebody offers you something, to say, oh, that's good, but what would work best for me? Personalize it to fit you. Number 5 is to be intentional with it. Let me tell you about intentionality. Intentionality is the thing that turns the needle in your favor. It is. It's the thing that moves the needle toward you. This is exactly what it is. Because when you intend to do something, then you have the opportunity to put things in the imperative, I am, and then whatever it is, and then go forward with it. Being intentional means you're making a decision. It means you're being decisive. And it's so important to do so. Okay? Number 6, be present with it. Before we can automate, we have to be present. We have to go through the machinations of what this all feels like. Okay, I'm automating my smoothie, for example, first thing in the morning. Have your smoothie stuff out and ready to go. Have everything here and ask yourself, do I have everything in the right place so that I can get this all done? Very important thing that you need to do in order to make sure that you can automate it for the next one. Seriously. And number 7, you're a bridge builder. Okay. That's what some of these are. Some of these things, some of these little tasks, they're going to go faster. They're going to go easier. Others, not so much. It's going to take a little bit of doing. It might take some extra help to get it done. But if you are building a bridge from here to there, like this, TikTok, then what do you need to do? You need to be very intentional about it, and you need to measure what the tasks are and ask for help for the bigger tasks. That's simple. Number 9, congratulate yourself and high five yourself. This is from BJ Fogg, who is a behavioral psychologist. He wrote a book called Tiny Habits, also excellent book, by the way. He said, when we high five ourselves and we congratulate ourselves at doing a good job, woo woo. This is why sports are so fun, right? Because, we, at the very end, everybody slaps their paddle when we're playing pickleball, and you work hard for those points, and it's fun. And the reward is that dopamine rush of winning or knowing that you played your best possible game. We can do that with ourselves over anything, over setting our smoothie stuff up for the first thing in the morning, whatever it is. And when we high five ourselves like that, man, we get that hit, and we're also telling our amygdala to settle, because we're doing a new behavior, right? We're also giving ourselves a little bit of a push and a rush into keeping this habit in place and automating it and allowing it to just flow. It's amazing how wonderfully that works. And then the last thing that I have for you is shampoo, rinse, repeat. Keep doing this over and over again. Start again with the excellence and ditch perfectionism forever and ever. Amen. And keep going until you get to this place of feeling really good about where you're going, because you're changing things up. You're automating things. You're asking your people. You are a part of a community. It makes a difference. What do you think? Are you going to be with me tomorrow for Wise Women's Wednesday? I sure hope so. We got more to discuss on this topic of automating things and making things happen. As a matter of fact, there's good, there's bad, and there's all kinds of stuff. And tomorrow we're going to go through it all. You ready for all of that? I hope so. Peace be with you. Thank you, YouTube and Facebook. I appreciate you. And TikTok, I will be right back. Bye.
Thank you for joining me today.
You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.